Thompson, I want you to hail Trump. So this episode...
Hold on, sir.
No, this episode...
No, hold on, sir.
This episode...
No. Why am I hailing Trump? Why would I hail Trump? Why would anybody hail Trump?
Because Trump's about to leave office, bro.
So why would we hail him? Like, hail him, doesn't it... What does hail mean? To bring
all hail, like respect.
Respect?
High salute. I keep looking up.
You got to give respect to get
guy?
it. You got to give respect to get it.
All right, listen. We're about to talk about the Capitol riots and the Florida men associated with the Capitol riots. But one thing I'm going to need you to do, regardless of anything, because you're an American, is put some respect on Trump's name, okay? Listen, if we can put some respect on Baby from Cash Money, and we all know what he's done to Lil Wayne and Juvenile and that little white boy, that picture with the condom on the floor. Remember that part? If we can put respect on people like Bill Clinton, there's a lot of them, okay? There's a lot of them, and I think that I'm sick of the separation in this country.
The divisiveness.
Okay, I'm sick of the divisiveness.
All of a sudden, people are so hurt about divisiveness.
I do not care about
this motherfucker.
Your far right beliefs. I don't care about your far left beliefs.
Put a wall, though. But let me ask you a question. If we were like seeing stuff in a room, right? Would a wall be the literal definition of dividing?
If there's a wall, yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that Trump is not divisive.
Okay.
I'm saying it's time for America to be united. If you want to be liberal, then you need to accept somebody like Trump.
No,
if you want to be super conservative, then you need to stop being so right-wing and crazy. That's the whole... What's the nature of being conservative?
So what you're saying
Chill the fuck out. That's what a conservative does.
So what you're saying now is, what you're really saying is everybody that's right needs to stop.
And everybody that's left needs to stop,
too. The left won, so they need to keep going. So we need to be with the left.
How did the left really win?
What do you mean?
The country is super divided. The reason why all these people went out to vote was just to get rid of Trump.
Yeah,
and now we got some old senile dude running office.
Maybe.
They arguably, we'll see in the next 4 years, is he better? But we can argue the fact that he might not be better. I mean, it's not like this dude came through. There's still a might there.
There is a might.
We
can't see the future.
We're not all gung ho like we were for Obama when we put this guy in office.
No, man, not at all. We're like at the rebound after a bad relationship.
Really bad relationship, and that's what I mean. Like, where is
he sold us into sex trafficking? Bad.
We all need to start doing a little bit more compromising.
I apologize for that statement.
All right, we need to do some compromising here. I don't think everybody that raided the Capitol. Let me finish this thought real quick.
Okay.
I don't think everybody that raided the Capitol are bad people.
Everybody that went inside?
I don't think they're bad people.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of dickheads in there. I think there's a lot of people with some entitled attitudes there. But I think the most part,
never mind.
A lot of these people are simple-minded people that were galvanized by a fucking dictator, basically. a dictator-like mind. And they believe in this guy so wholeheartedly. They believe that their values are taken advantage of. They believe this shit, and that's why they stormed the Capitol. They genuinely think in their minds. It's not about having respect. It's about having understanding.
You said I got to put respect on his name, though.
Well, put respect on the value of the presidency. Yes, I'm always joking when it comes to making fun of certain things, because I need you guys to get the anomaly, the nuance of my conversation, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, we have to start at least compromising on the fact that this country is so divided.
Yeah.
And you can't just think that being on your side is the answer.
Right.
Because clearly that's not helping anybody.
Right.
All it is drawing us further apart as a country.
Right.
And the bottom line is we're all fucking humans. Sometimes it's hard to see that. And there are some racist pricks that need to go straight to hell.
Well,
but we can't say all conservatives are pieces of shit.
It just seems like some of the decisions or some of the choices made between two things. One side seems to be choosing things that are arguably bad and evil, and the other side, while being weak or whatever.
Liberals do bad and evil things.
Sure, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like abortions and different things where you want to, not like we're back in the day when you couldn't tell somebody if you were gay or not.
You think people are storming Do you think people are storming the Capitol because of gays and abortion rights?
No, not specifically that, for sure. Now, at this point, they're storming it because I guess there's a whole bunch of reasons why they're storming the Capitol, but part of it, I guess, had to do with. It's hard for me to like go into the mind set of some people when I just don't totally don't understand the argument all the way. I know that there's liberal elites who are drinking children's blood or something like that, and they want to like control us, so they're taking over big tech to quiet the masses. So that's part of it, and they're in bed with senators and the government, so they want to storm that. Big tech took over the voting machines, I think. Another reason to be mad is, Biden's going against the gun rights. The election was rigged. The voting machines were hacked. The ballots, the mail-in ballots, shouldn't have been counted after election day. Like, there's a whole number of reasons why these people stormed the Capitol. I can't really claim them all, but
and I'm sure there's nuance in each individual person that hit that for different reasons. But I
just named some of the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
So how is there nuance?
Because that's somebody's belief.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. One side saying some like rational ass shit. It seems like now, while also probably committing crimes and different things where they're.
So the liberals never done that. Liberals never went into a country based on false.
Bro, I just said there's bad, of course, because they're human males, specifically white males.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A majority of that have historically. Across the board, Democrats were the worst back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, but I'm saying right now, today, right, when we're talking about like policies and reasons why people are mad and shit like that, it seems like one spectrum of the side, maybe the middle, maybe the people, like you're saying, we need to come together. But like the decisions, like people who stormed the Capitol believe that baby's blood is being drinking.
I don't think that's a majority.
It's not a majority. Okay.
I think that there's a set.
I know I'm saying the crazy
on both
shit,
sides
like
that are crazy as fuck.
The extremes, yeah, on both sides,
right?
For sure.
I think the majority
the social
of people,
justice warriors and the super Trumpers,
right,
are like the extremes of these parties.
Yeah, Antifa or the Proud Boys. Okay.
So Antifa, right? Isn't that anti-fascist?
Right.
So isn't that supposed to be a good thing?
Well,
is it the things that they're doing? Is that the bad thing? I haven't actually done any research on anything I'm talking about right now. If it's not so fucking obvious that it's slapping you in the face and you've turned this off.
Is the thing about hardcore liberal Antifa, socialist, communist people.
Do you do research?
I've done some. I've been around certain circles. When I did Votelando, I used to be an event planner in Orlando, and I helped put together this event called Votelando. And Votelando was
Marky probably have a lot to say about what I'm talking about right
absolutely,
now.
And I'm sure if you've seen this, we would disagree on some levels. So I put on this event with a group of nonprofits that basically they're behind a lot of like workers' rights. A lot of like LGBTQ, a lot of fights for minority groups that, according to them, don't have a voice. So this is why we fight. Also minorities like African Americans and Hispanics and etc. What I found out in a lot of these socialist communities, and I'm paraphrasing because not everybody's in here completely identifies with this, but at least the idea is we belong to these groups to go against big business and big interests that are oppressing these groups of people. And they don't have a voice. So my whole thing was putting on the event. I dealt with a lot of conscious musicians, right? That was I guess, the kind of title that you would label the type of music that my group of friends were making at the time was just, conscious, social, introspective music. So I wanted to be more involved with the people at the ground level of these social revolutions that were going on. So what better way than to integrate yourself with all these nonprofits and stuff that believe in the things I was talking about. What I gained and knowledge being around these people were that they automatically look at super conservative people, big business Republicans, I guess if you want to look at them on that regard, the Rick Scotts of the world, as evil people because the way that they were infiltrating society and putting their money and interest behind were things that were oppressing the group of people that I'm talking about, right? So now come to find out that a lot of these nonprofits are funded by the Ford Foundation. Ford is a big corporation, has a lot of money and interest. So again, you start to kind of see a backwards hypocrisy or polarization, right? We're going to be against this idea, but we're going to get funded by it.
Yeah.
So that, at least this is my perception about it, okay? And again, my opinion. But what I also start to understand in that world was that since the rule of being fair is so tipped towards these big companies and rich interests, that we would like for, and this is an extreme idea, right? But for everything to be equal, right? A socialist idea on the extreme side is that the government or the people that are in power are basically in power to basically make sure that the population is all equal. Everybody has food. Everybody has a car. Everybody has the same education. That's what the ideal utopia of a socialist community is. Okay. Opposite to that are people that believe in capitalism, right? That like we're gonna work hard and build a company, a business, something to make us monetary value, and that's how we will demand our place in society is by working hard and creating capital for yourself. Therefore, that gives you power. So that's the ideal utopia. Now, we both know that a lot of that world gets corrupt because absolute power and money corrupts, and the richer you get, the more you want to hoard for your group of people. And that's honestly happened. That's what everybody was protesting about in Occupy when we went to Wall Street and basically camped out for like 2 weeks to show rich people like, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
But so that's the dichotomy here. These are the two polar opposites, the Bloods and Crips, whatever, the opposition on the board.
So you're saying left is socialist,
super socialist,
and right is capitalist.
Right.
Today.
And you can
right
see
now,
that in people like
Bernie Sanders and all that stuff.
Or Ocasio-Cortez. You could see, who's it, Omar, right? Mm-hmm. All these people want the government to be a socialist government and have free health care, free all this. Me, where I sit in the middle, is I think that there should be capitalism. If you want to work your ass off and build a company and become a billionaire, go for it. But when it comes to government and social service for people that are not living that lifestyle, there should be an equal, at least, like, granted, you're not going to have like a mansion, but you at least should have a nice house. Your kids should go to a decent school. You shouldn't want for like food, and especially if we're living in this world power, right? This the greatest country in the world, and I think that's where the moderates kind of look at stuff, right? Let's drive capitalism and self-interest lobbyists, right, out of government and put just social working people in the construct of government, right? Because they're going to identify with everybody versus just one side.
Yeah.
And then don't allow for corporate interests to interject in that. Just make your money. If you want to back a candidate, then yeah, you back your candidate, but you're not allowed to
contribute to it at all.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to like infiltrate. Like a lot of people talk shit about the George Soros conspiracy, right? What is the George Soros conspiracy? That he's infiltrating government. For example, in California, there is a new prosecutor that took the head prosecutor job, right? Supposedly he was backed by a George Soros campaign where George Soros and his people basically...
I feel like George Soros, the name Soros, is a buzzword to make you disbelieve something right now.
Well, the conservative propaganda...
If his name is attached to it, you can't...
Right. The conservative propaganda has spin that he is investing his money on super liberal candidates that are pushing this progressive idea where in the justice system, for example, the new prosecutor in LA, he's basically rolling back a lot of enhancement crimes. So if you're in a gang and you get caught with a gun, there's an enhancement there because it's not only a gun crime, but you're associated with a gang. He's getting rid of all that. He's getting rid of the bail system, right? So as long as it's not like murder or something like that, you can basically get out. It's a cashless bail. You get out on your own recognizance unless you're a flight risk, all right? So there's no longer a bail system because they say that people that can't make bail get stuck in jail, basically. And without having a bail system, that's more of a socialist way of thinking, you know what I mean? Because it's, making it easier for people that don't have the financial literacy or the opportunity to bring money into the court system to help defend themselves.
Right.
Now,
there's socialist is also one of those buzzwords that just make you want to not fuck with something.
Why do you feel like that? A lot of people believe in a lot of the groups that I was saying that build these nonprofits, they believe in social. They're like gung ho about that.
How come when the conservatives talk about it, they say the word socialism like it's a bad thing, similar to how they tagged Obamacare as a negative thing? Because
what happened in the history of the world, any socialist government, hence communism in Russia, North Korea, Cuba, they don't look as they're looked at as a more old fashioned.
You think it's because it's old fashioned?
Well, and not at the way we've spun it in America.
The people that we fought in wars were either communists or socialists. So we've spun
that idea in America that form of government really doesn't work.
So that's what I'm saying. I think
that's why.
That's what I'm saying. Socialism is a buzzword for negative. That's why I think
only on the conservative side, though.
Well, yes and no. It's used as a negative thing. It seems like,
but
even to people who don't know what from what, they'll say.
I don't think so. There is a big group of people like the
There's
Marx.
A big group of people who
my man Mark has a fucking axle in a pit.
Love it, that are all about it. I'm talking about like the people you're talking about in the middle. Obamacare, socialism,
for sure.
They're buzzwords for something negative,
right?
It just is. Even until you look into it and maybe then make your own decisions.
But
I honestly don't know what would be the best. Maybe you shouldn't name it. Maybe we shouldn't be doing a capitalistic society or a socialist society or a communist society.
Regardless of what you name it, it's going to be that.
Yeah, we should just do shit that works. I don't know how that works because I'm not a businessman.
I think that's it's great that you bring that point up. I think that's where we're at in society right now, because capitalism, right, has its negatives too, right? With the infiltration of government, the lobbyists and all this self-interest and stuff.
Yeah.
So apparently capitalism isn't working either.
Not quite. Not for all of us.
Is it a hybrid of both? That's where I feel like you need right in the middle.
I think we need to stop naming shit. I think we stop labeling a lot of stuff.
But that's the only way you can spin an idea to get people galvanized behind it. You have to have an example of. You know what I mean? Like, this is working because of.
Ooh, name me something that worked.
It hasn't, but that's why we're so separate.
So now we stop like naming shit. Why are people asking what race somebody is?
That's why we are Trump jerking people off at the damn inauguration parties. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna jerk the left off, I'm gonna jerk the right off. You know, I think I want to believe that the majority of people are like me and you, right down the middle. Yeah, I want a little socialism.
Yeah,
I want some help when I'm down, when the stimulus check.
Whoever, yeah.
But
whoever needs it.
I also want to be okay with, goddamn, if I
want to be able to make a lot of money.
If I want to work hard in this car business, why the fuck does everybody need a free car?
Right.
You feel me?
No, for sure.
So that's where we're at right now.
We're trying to have our cake and eat it too.
We don't know what's right and wrong. So these two sides are so separate by standing on their ideas. I don't know. I'm a conservative Christian. I don't believe you have the right to abortion. But guess what? I don't want big business in my interest, so it's hypocritical. Over here, like, oh, I want everybody to abort, or if they so choose and stuff like that. But I also want everybody to have the same amount of money and the same house and the same opportunities that some rich dude has, which I don't think is right either. You know what I mean?
Yo, all I know is that the mother of hypocrisy happened during the Capitol riots. The mother of all hypocrisy happened during the Capitol riot. Why? Because however many, it looked like tens of thousands. I don't know what the number was. Hundreds. Tens of hundreds. Whatever it was. Fucking.
Are those people more emboldened?
Laid
unfortunately
siege to that fucking place. Pissed on stuff. Smoked cigars and wrote on shit.
Now I know you're not in favor of like when they were rioting the Gucci store, right?
And nothing, barely anything happened to these motherfuckers. They went home and now they're being arrested.
That's my next question.
Now they're being arrested after the fact.
My next question: what if that was a Black Lives Matter protest? They made it in. Hypothetically, I know I'm wrong about this, but the same thing happened. Only a couple people died.
What are they
Would people
protesting?
be more accepting of that?
What are they protesting?
Black Lives Matter?
Both.
Their equal and right placement in society. They think that they're being neglected on both sides. I think it's the same argument.
It's the same argument, but what's standing? One side is so obviously right about what their standing in the world is, and the one other side is protesting a bunch of bullshit.
On your side and on my side.
No, a bunch of bullshit.
But there's people on that side that really believe in that shit.
It doesn't matter if they believe that shit. It's fucking crazy wrong. It's crazy wrong.
But you got to see that you're standing on one side of it.
Bro, you're going to tell me you got scammed out of an election. That's the argument.
That's not the only reason why they're...
What's another reason?
They feel like the country is slipping away, like you said, to socialism, to what are all you made all the great points. Socialism, big tech interest.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on the opposite side of the coin.
I said they're bananas things. Like they're saying that fucking part of it. Okay, not all of these people are saying that, but there's people that actually believe that these elites are drinking baby's
that's the
blood.
Crazy side. The majority,
there's a good portion of them,
but the
doing
majority,
that
the majority
that.
of them just
the Pizzagate folks,
right. But listen, the majority of them just believe that the election was taken away from them.
The majority
haven't we had election fraud in the past?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're not.
But there's no evidence. It's been investigated, but they don't believe because the media, they're screaming on the media how the media fucking is lying to them. They're on media, they're being media while telling us that the media can't be
here's my thing.
Trusted.
So here's my thing.
It's bananas. And the other side has been getting shot at, fucking beat, fucking statistically proven how shit is not right. And the other side is crying about shit that's not even fucking real,
but it's still another side. That's all I'm saying.
Why does it matter if it's still another side?
Because it exists. Those people...
it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. The shit doesn't exist. It exists in their minds.
It
exists in their minds. So I shouldn't have to give it so much credence to the point where
you should, because you're on the opposite side. But I'm
on the side of reality. The other side is making shit up.
Reality is all based on your perception.
No, and facts. I have statistics. I have actual news clippings of people getting fucking shot, right? They don't have actual facts. They have, Project fucking Verify or some shit where there's like, oh, the elites have been exposed because of this, that, and then you look at where's the actual proof, and there's no proof. We'll get a million emails of a million weird ass fucking like sites that aren't accredited, that don't have any like backing.
The deep conspiracy hasn't been proven, but the narrative, there is an underlining fact there.
Saying something doesn't make it a
because
fact.
Okay, Pizzagate, it's super extreme to believe that they were using pedophiles with pizza code, but there are pedophiles in government. We've seen that before.
Yes, there's pedophiles.
So that's what I'm saying. There's underlining facts in these stories. There's the extreme right of it that take it to the left level. But I'm saying there's a moderate group within those Republicans that stormed the Capitol that have a little inks of shit actually being fucked up on their narrative. Does the Black Lives Matter? Yes, there's way more presidents to take care of those people for what's going on. But the same way that the Black Lives Matter protesters believe that there's some injustice based on factual evidence, that's what they're believing.
No way! There's no factual evidence.
There are pedophiles in government.
For these motherfuckers.
There are pedophiles in government.
All those motherfuckers are not up there about pedophiles. There is
proof that the government has tried to, like the Gulf of Tonkin incident, like there is proof that the government has conspired to move against the populace based on a small power group within our government that control shit. That is true. That's
y'all motherfuckers are in a cult, bro. You're in a cult. Snap out of that shit. Snap the fuck out of that shit.
Antifa.
Snap out of that shit.
Antifa's
You're in a fucking cult, bro.
Antifa's a cult too.
Snap out of that shit. Okay? Drop the fucking fever dream.
Torch.
Whatever the fuck it is, bro. You shouldn't hate people. Dog, you shouldn't be up in here crying because you're losing your country. Dog. Fuck, man. You guys are in a fucking cult, bro. You guys stormed the Capitol because you think you lost an election that you fucking lost. You got Trump 2020 flags and that motherfucker's out of fucking office. You guys are fucking crazy.
I agree. But there's crazy on both sides.
No, you can't. See, that's the fucking problem, bro.
No, that's not the problem.
All of a sudden, bro.
We need to figure out a way to compromise and unify.
No, we can't. Sorry, we can't. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
We have to.
I'm a little... Nah, it's so bananas, dog. I'm sorry, dog. It's so bananas.
It is.
So,
but we can't lose sight of that.
No, I agree. We got to figure out how to work together. I know I'm talking a lot of shit, so let me... Whatever, but... Yeah, of course. It's just,
but see the way you feel.
One side gets fucking beat to the fucking ground for this shit.
But
beat
that
to the fucking ground.
You got it.
And these other motherfuckers are kicking the shit up on the desk, and they get escorted home, and then they get called on the phone. Listen, sir, I need to come fucking pick you up and shit. Fuck that shit. So, I'm sorry, not
definitely
sorry.
A double standard.
It's nuts. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Y'all need to go home.
Can society exist without double standards?
It hasn't yet. Can it function? I don't see why not. Why wouldn't it be able to?
Because I always think there's an underlining motivation. Like, regardless, you see how passionate you feel about that? That how you were telling these motherfuckers they belong to cult? You don't think that same energy is what they're replicating by showing up?
I got fucking facts and figures, though.
But listen, in
reality, how is the country getting taken from
the ground? At the ground primal level of that feeling that frustrates you about people like that, that's the same energy they're bringing to the Capitol. That energy is what's causing the dividingness in our country.
To be clear, these people don't generally frustrate me. We're just having a specific conversation about it. I generally don't even give these motherfuckers my time, especially in the comment section of certain things. I try to keep it cute, as the girls from LA say. Well, I was fucking old as shit. But I it's not even the same stratosphere of when the shit gets equated all the time. I can't even begin to give it the same weight. I can't. I can't entertain that your struggle is as bad as that struggle at all. I can't give it the same credence. I can't give it the same weight. So when people come up,
but that's why that side will never identify with our side. The same way you feel, and there's more. Of course, obviously, there's hundreds of years of merit behind that feeling, but that's why they're storming the Capitol. They genuinely believe that shit. That's the craziest part of it all. Is that it's a genuine belief. Is it simple mindedness? Is it whatever? But
this motherfucker's in the cult, man. That's what that shit is.
Antifa's the same thing, though.
How? Tell me. I don't know. Tell me about Antifa. All I hear is anti-fascist. I think that's a good thing. I'm sure there's just like in the protest this summer, there's bad people doing bad shit.
The reason why it's bad is because it's not really making any change. It's just becoming opposition. And that's the concept. That's
the reason I'm okay with the shit that happened this summer and not that I really care, I guess, to be all the way a buck about what happened in the Capitol. I guess I don't really even fucking care what happened in the Capitol. Like, it doesn't like make me angry that these people stormed the Capitol. You know what makes me angry?
The Gucci store being robbed?
The hypocrisy is what makes me angry. Okay? The hypocrisy is really what makes me angry. The reason they're storming it and me saying fuck that, you're in a cult is like a long second. Like, I really don't even care about that. You know, when you said passion, I wanted to clear it up. I really don't even care about that. What I'm passionate about, what I care about is the hypocrisy of how the shit was handled. Like, I walked downtown Orlando and at 7.
But you just proved my point. It's not the people, then it's the government that you're angry at.
At 7, okay. At 7, I'm definitely not mad at the people necessarily. Mad at them.
It's the reaction, right?
I'm not saying
it's the way the power structure reacted to it.
Hypocrisy for sure. But I'm saying what I was about to say is that I was walking downtown Orlando during the summer, and 7:30, 7:45, they're on the intercom talking about if you're out here at 8:00. Sitting out here, you're getting tear gassed. They're saying it. And then a group of people who are sitting in a fucking circle get tear gassed. And that's facts. I know people be like, that shit didn't. That's literally what the fuck happened. My neighbor was there the first night, the same shit.
Yeah.
And this is like tear gassing. And then I associate that back to that far way down second place of where the people are arguing about. The reason their motherfuckers are out there protesting is for a far greater, heavier, real reason than this other fucking crazy horse shit, cult shit that you guys are talking about over here. Like, I know we have sides and we have beliefs and there's all of that shit, but no, fuck that. These motherfuckers get shot up for getting out of car, get beat up for walking the neighborhood for Skittles, get fucking toy gunned, running away, the dude in the green, like, I can go on for fucking ever, all the way back to the fucking 60s when the first SWAT team was the first SWAT team was used on the Black Panthers. Yo, you can go all the way back with all of this fucking shit. You can keep going back and keep going back and keep going back. And then these motherfuckers are making up crazy shit. And I'm supposed to like say, okay, all right, you guys have a beef, so I guess no. If these motherfuckers storming the Capitol, I don't want it to happen, but they should have got fucked up like everybody else got fucked up, and they didn't. They got let the fuck in. They got escorted. They were kicking their feet up on the desk. They were smoking cigars. They had now I know the photographers were just there, but like motherfuckers are taking great photos, beautiful action shots of these motherfuckers in here, and then they get please leave. Then I guess there was a couple, I didn't see it, but I guess there was some tear gas at some point. I didn't see it, but some people said there were fucking gallows outside with the nooses hanging from it. There's probably some bad elements in there, you know what I mean? the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, it's just crazy. Yeah, man. Fuck that noise. Y'all in the cult, bro. I know I just ran it again, but I can't give it the same weight. I can't give it the same credence, man.
Well, I don't think you should ever give anybody's passion the same way. I mean, you're human. These are your emotions. These are your feelings.
I guess.
And the minute you don't identify with somebody else, you're becoming part of the problem.
I can't identify with what you mad about over there, though, man. And that's fine, I guess. Okay. Like, the reason it's fine for me is because I don't want to have an argument with somebody about that shit, because I can't talk with a person. For me, I can't talk with a person.
This is the unifying point.
The problem is the hypocrisy of how it was handled.
The problem is the governing power structure.
Yeah, man.
That's what it is.
For sure.
It's the governing power.
Nobody knows what to do about that.
It's not just Trump. It's Pelosi. It's not just Biden. It's Acosta. Like, it's this constant division left and right is what's causing this bullshit.
Yeah, but it just seems like one side's trying to do good things.
No. What is the Democrats are just always trying to make up. They're just there to like sweep shit up so that they can take some power. They're not there for real change, bro. The same way we complain about Trump building the walls, Obama built the detention centers. The same way we complain about Bush attacking fucking Iraq when we came in. You had fucking what's his name in
to my Clinton?
No,
talking about every president ever?
Yes. You know what I mean?
It's about every president ever.
Structure.
We've been in war since we've been a country.
It's the power structure. The people on both sides are realizing that the power structure is a piece of shit, and now it's time for us to come together.
Yes, absolutely.
And the far left and far right is never gonna. They need to be on those sides. But the people in the middle, which I hope, which I have faith,
I feel like
that we're the majority.
You don't feel like Acosta or Bernie Sanders or Andrew Yang?
Andrew Yang, yes, but Andrew Yang's not a real politician.
Or what's that lady's name? She was in Iraq, the one that Joe Rogan loves so much.
I don't think she's
the
a
one
real
I
politician.
Sent you a clip on.
Yeah, I don't think she's.
People like that.
She just got into politics.
She's definitely a politician.
But she just got into politics.
I know, but people like that, you don't think they're trying to do good? It seemed like they're, or even Anna Eskamani here in Florida. People like that.
If you're somebody, I don't know about him too much. I know that Ocasio-Cortez, I respect her being such a young woman. There's certain things that I identify with.
It seems like she's always like being.
But she's too far left progressive for me. She's that it's just, to me, and maybe I'm wrong at this too because I'm a super moderate. It's too far at, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the type of moderate that like wants to accept all LGBTQ, but don't hit me with the making me feel uncomfortable because I don't know what the fuck you're identifying with. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Someone like Ocasio-Cortez is way on that side, right?
Of like making you feel uncomfortable if you don't know. You should know instead of like feeling
and coming down on you the same way a fucking hard Republican would come down on a pro-lifer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or a anti, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about that shit. Like, on both sides, you guys are both hypocrites.
Yeah, I definitely don't have the answers for sure.
You know, Bernie Sanders to me is too much. He was, you know, like fucking Fidel with lot of balls. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's too socialist to me. I like Andrew Yang because he applies shit to just common math. Like, we're gonna run out of these jobs. They're gonna go to automation. Let's focus on that shit. You know,
he's mayor. He's gonna be mayor.
He's like, my wife has been a homemaker her whole life. Why isn't there value to that job in society? There's no monetary gain in that job, but that's one of the most important jobs in society.
Yeah, for sure.
So, bro, all this shit makes sense to me. Like, yes, you're the type of person that needs to be in power. This rational shit. He comes from a business background.
Yeah.
But has a lot of like.
We should stop hiring politicians to be.
For sure, we need to get rid of parties. We need to get rid of
about the Rock
lobbyists.
Should we have celebrities, even if they have depending on their background?
It depends on their background because they do have influence. Unfortunately, we're such a like retarded culture that we like believe in like superheroes and like wrestlers and basketball players. Like, if these, like, we're gonna ask LeBron James for social
LeBron
commentary.
LeBron James will get, he'll get like a cool 5 million votes to be president now.
Even more, but
Kanye was on the ballot.
You spend 10,000 hours working on your fucking.
Can you Google
jump
how many?
Shot,
can you Google how many votes? I can do it too while we talk.
Kanye?
How many votes did Kanye get this year? You think?
A lot.
I'll do it. How many votes?
Kanye doesn't need to be president either. Why? Because he spent too much time working on music, bro. You weren't, your time was not spent helping people. We need people that have been maybe bosses to companies. Like Andrew Yang was a real CEO. He dealt with the people at the ground level. He's not just designing a shoe.
I think
people like Kanye West is too disconnected to the ground level person, regular everyday Joe.
The 43-year-old rapper has conceded after his self-styled birthday party collected 60,000 votes out of an estimated 160 million.
I mean, he's a good politician. I will say that. Like
he got 60,000 votes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like a gold album nowadays.
That's interesting. People voted 60,000.
If he would have sold 60,000 copies, he would have been made fun of.
But that's not good now? I think that's at least good.
At least 100,000 is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And eventually going platinum.
How do we bring all of this crazy conversation back to Florida?
Because there were 7 motherfuckers from Florida, 5 or 7 motherfuckers from Florida, that not only went to the Capitol during the siege, but managed to, I don't know, do the triple double, if you want to call it the triple double, or like the, what's a great baseball play, grand slam, okay? And the reason I say that is because there was thousands of people rating the shit, but only a few of them we really kind of like pinpoint, like, oh, that's a motherfucker. Remember the guy that carried out Nancy Pelosi's desk? That's a triple double. Like, not only did I raid the fucking Capitol, go in there and fuck some shit up, I left with the fucking podium. You know what I mean? And he's from Florida, so like, fuck you for being who you are, but shout out for being Florida and pulling that type of shit out.
Yo, where did you hear the? Did you see the meme where it says they wanted to take a stand, so the dude took a stand, or he couldn't.
What about? There's a guy in there in a wheelchair. It's like, this guy is standing for shit.
No.
Oh man. Listen, Kimberly does not want to be part of this episode, so yeah, she was really anti. There was no facts about this shit.
This shit is just wild.
She's like, we have to let the story unfold.
Speak for itself.
Rules committees jointly announced they.
Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Gotta switch the mic input.
I feel like there's like a running joke with you being left off Baton Rouge.
Left off Baton Rouge. You think I'm left off Baton Rouge?
They will hold hearings on the Senate Homeland Security and Rules committees jointly announced they will hold hearings on the security failures after the attack on the Capitol Wednesday. The House Appropriations and Administration Committees, which both have oversight of the Capitol Police, say they intend to investigate the riots, and multiple congressional aides said heads should roll at the Capitol over the security failures. U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund has already resigned. That happened yesterday after criticism over his apparent lack of preparedness to deal with Wednesday's violent mob. A multi-state search is underway for the men and women who committed federal crimes at the U.S. Capitol when it was taken over by the angry mob. The FBI released these photos, working to track down all the rioters involved. We now know the names of several Florida men who have been identified or tied to the federal investigation. News4Jack's reporter Janice Harris is researching who each of these Trump supporters are.
That's right, Joy. An FBI Washington, D.C. office said its office and their 56 field offices are working around the clock searching for anyone that committed crimes at the U.S. Capitol Wednesday, saying if you left D.C., they can find you and will come knocking on your door. Hundreds of FBI agents and investigators across the country are looking for the men and women who breached and damaged the United States Capitol. This just one day after releasing photos of the rioters there.
Did you see the meme of how Lego made like a Capitol Siege Lego? because we all know about this guy, right? The guy with the horns.
What was the last thing his mother said to him before she left? Bison.
Hold on, I gotta show you guys this
Another meme.
Hold on.
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
I can't find it, but
this.
if you guys can find it online, it's the Capitol Siege Lego, and they just did some like funny Photoshop where it's like this guy but as a Lego figure, and they're like all in there with like the Trump.
He's got an Instagram. He's probably getting a lot of hits.
You're looking.
I think he's like the poster
Florida men
child.
have been linked to the riots at the U.S. Capitol. 4 of them already arrested.
Anything happens, we get arrested or killed, just know, man, I love y'all, and I did what I believed in it.
This is Michael
I believe
Corsia
it
of
did it.
Summerfield. He's facing a federal charge of unlawful entry into the U.S. Capitol. Douglas Sweet, John Anderson, and Matthew Council are also facing an unlawful entry federal charge. Another person identified, Andrew Williams, a Sanford firefighter, in a photo taken in the foyer of the Capitol pointing at a sign that reads, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Williams has not been charged, but has been identified by multiple people, and the Sanford Fire Department confirmed. An investigation has been launched. We are aware and the firefighter is employed by the Sanford Fire Department. The Sanford Fire Department has begun administrative investigation into the information. News4Jack's crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says, though people have gone home, the investigation will not be delayed.
Social media is playing a very critical role in locating some of these people.
Social media in this regard is very, very helpful. You know, when people do stupid things, they like to post it and brag about it and show pictures and this, that, and the other. And the law enforcement officials are sitting back laughing with gratitude that they're doing that because they're giving them all the evidence that they need.
A 6th Florida man identified as Adam Christian Jones.
Adam!
He's seen carrying Speaker of the House podium through the Capitol Rotunda. No charges have been confirmed against him. This is just a handful of the dozens of people that the FBI is investigating.
The FBI is on the case. Federal officials are on the case, on these cases, and they will find you. They will find you.
Other men have been arrested with charges including possession of a weapon, homemade explosives, knowingly entering property without authority as well.
That must have been Antifa,
Washington,
right?
D.C. says they will spare
And
no resources to hold all
the
of these
BLM,
people
the BLM actors. That's what I'm seeing a lot of too. This wasn't Trump supporters. There was Antifa and BLM actors.
I don't like when they bring. I think Antifa has infiltrated the BML movement, the BL right, yeah, the BLM movement. I had to like slow down there for a second. I think they've infiltrated that movement and made it more about the whole anti-fascist thing instead of like really keeping the whole idea of like this is oppressing African Americans. You know what I mean? So I think Antifa's done that to every single fucking movement that they're just about disruption and chaos, basically. I don't like when you team them up. You know what I mean?
No, that's what people say right now.
No, for sure.
That's like the thing. That and them divisive is another buzzword. Listen, guys, we're all being divisive right now. Now we're being divisive.
And I mean, it would be kind of smart for like, because again, we all have the same beef. Well, not we all, but the opposing sides have the same beef with the government. You know what I
Today,
mean?
more people have.
So if they did join up together and like, hey, these crazy white people are going to storm the Capitol, they're probably not going to get. They're probably going to let them in. Might as well.
Yeah, if that's the way. Some people feel like that's the way, for sure. But I don't know the answer to how this needs to happen.
Yeah.
It just needs to happen. I've heard this all got to burn down. But then what?
Yeah, who's going to be the boss of that?
You know, there has to be some sort of order, right? Like, we say, no, we should be able to take care of ourselves. But, like, nah, there's some crazy fucks out there that need to be. We just need people that are actually good people.
Yeah, defund the police until you can't call the police to come fucking.
That's not what defund the police fucking
I know,
means.
but that's the whole, like you just said about Antifa rioting and going into these things. That's a narrative that they're spinning too.
No, they're saying defund the police, but defund the police doesn't mean defund the police.
Right. We know that because we've done our research, but a lot of people on just face value really believe that.
Socialism, Obamacare, defund the police. These are things that just are buzzwords.
Yeah, the liberals have a shitty way of propagandizing.
Way shitty, bro. Like
propagandizing
the worst. There's the PR team, the naming of things. Y'all are dumb. Why would you call it that? You know, there's something else I'm trying to think of. I can't think of it. What it was. It's like, yo, that is the worst thing to call this shit. I'll think of it later.
Have been arrested for this week's insurrection on Capitol Hill as lawmakers and law enforcement try to figure out how this all happened and how they didn't see it coming. One Tampa Bay resident has been arrested for participating in the protest. Adam Johnson, the man seen smiling and waving at the camera while carrying the lectern of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi during the U.S. Capitol riot from Parrish, Florida, was jailed on a federal warrant Friday in Pinellas County, records show. Now, he faces charges of knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building without lawful authority, 1 count of theft of government property, and 1 count of violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yo, he took a stand. Literally.
Several of those taken into custody at the Capitol are from here in Florida and are now facing federal charges. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest is live in the newsroom. And Mike, what are you learning about the people who've been arrested?
Well, Julie, despite unconfirmed rumors about Antifa or other left-wing groups infiltrating the Capitol, the FBI says there is no indication that anyone disguised themselves as a Trump supporter. Tonight, at least 5 Floridians
y'all are in the cult.
Charges.
A fucking cult. No, just it's other people.
Mob forced its way into the U.S. Capitol. Authorities continue to round up.
Look at all those fake-ass Trump flags.
Many identified through social media. Hours ago, a federal judge unsealed this complaint against Eric Munchell, who investigators say was photographed in the Senate chamber carrying zip ties. Although masked in these photos, federal investigators say they found other social media images showing Munchell without his mask. Munchell was taken into custody in Tennessee, but recently lived in Florida. A bar and restaurant in Fort Myers posted this Facebook message saying a former employee from 2+ years ago was involved in the recent incident at the Capitol building. We have no affiliation with this employee and their actions were their own. Another Florida man, Adam Johnson, was arrested over the weekend. Investigators say he's the man photographed walking away with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's lectern. Michael Curzio, who lives in the Marion County community of Summerfield, is also accused of storming the Capitol.
We're getting ready to go march.
Curzio posted these videos on his Facebook page prior to the siege.
If anything happens,
yo, that outfit was tight.
Arrested or killed, just know, man, I love y'all.
2 other Florida men are also facing federal charges. One of them, Matthew Council, is accused of pushing a law enforcement officer as he entered the Capitol building. Ginger and Lisa.
NASA took a photo of this huge.
It's because of the G5 towers.
What in the fuck?
I just realized it myself. It's because of all these new G5 towers.
Because the people go crazy.
Was seen in a picture inside the Capitol building during the riots last week, has now been federally charged. Within the past hour, he walked out of the federal courthouse in downtown Orlando after facing a judge. Andrew Williams is now charged with disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds and knowingly entering the temporary residence of the president. News 6 received this picture of Williams last week. If convicted, he could get a fine or up to 6 months in prison. Leaders with the Sanford Fire Department say they are also investigating his involvement in the riots.
That's crazy. He was a firefighter. I wondered how many actual,
a lot.
Cops, firefighters, all these people that are part of, government.
At least half.
You think?
Sure.
How many people you think from Florida besides the 7 that they caught? Think Florida's a Trump stronghold?
He won the election.
It's crazy.
That's why I say at least half. It's because he won.
But it's like most of the people that really vote for him are like the rural kind of counties.
I guess this year,
cities.
This year he lost the election overall, but he still won Florida.
Yeah.
So
we do have a Republican governor. I think, like, again, it's
we have a Trump Jr. as a governor.
Yeah.
You see the way he moves his hands, and he has the red tie.
Remember the ad that he had where he's building a wall with his kids,
building a wall with his children.
Oh, DeSantis. I will say though, he's not doing like compared to Rick Scott.
He wasn't until the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was doing a great job till the pandemic.
Really?
Sure.
I mean, I think it was smart for him to open everything back up.
Why?
Because
you don't mind spikes in.
I just think that business. A lot of people have died, and I want to say that my condolence goes out to anybody that hasn't lost anybody associated with the COVID, or if you lost anybody, period. I'm sorry, but I just think that if you look at the way New York and California have closed everything down and not allowed anything, and how all those businesses have fallen apart, I think we're going to lose people, right? But the collateral damage that we're seeing financially, especially like mom and pop industries, is detrimental. Like New York is done. California arguably is done. That's why people were like leaving there and coming to Texas and Florida. And like him opening it up, arguably, yeah, could it have curbed more deaths? But it's helped survive our industries. You know what I mean? I'll say that on the people that are paying me rent and shit, like it was hard, bro. And thank God that he opened up when he did, that my tenants were able to get back, because most of them work hospitality, either hotel, accommodation services, or they work in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but doesn't it shorten the time when you have to be closed if you just actually make the solid decision to unilaterally close?
No, that's arguable because unilateral, whatever you just said. Mm-hmm. They closed New York off and California because they had the bigger populations, and they haven't seen a serious curve. If anything, it's getting crazier, and everything is shut down in LA. Everything is shut down, and like Walgreens or the essential places, they shut down at 10, and then they're closed. Period. The only thing that are open are grocery stores and essential restaurants, shit like that. You can only get takeout.
So when I pick up my phone and I would look at all these clubs in LA and all these house parties in LA and all
that's illegal. It's all illegal.
I know, but it's still happening. So there's
clubs, no. House parties, yes. Our clubs are open, and our spike hasn't been.
Yes, it has. Florida has some of the worst numbers.
But what I'm saying is, and this is all arguable because it did, like we chose to keep them open in a place like LA or California that they shut down, they still had the same numbers go up.
I don't know if that's true. And
no,
also,
it is true.
And also New York, plus, like I said, I think the
population, yes.
No,
they have more
the
people.
Denseness of the population in New York. So, like, they're fucked anyway.
Well, I'll give you that. But LA is similar to Florida.
LA,
not population-wise, but it's spread out.
Like, I get on the phone, I can show you parties of people out in different places right now in LA, like, doing their thing. Like, I see that all the time.
Yeah, but like club, tourist attractions, Disney's closed over there. Mm-hmm. We opened up Disney over here, mm-hmm. and they haven't. It's been per capita. They've closed. We haven't. And we're getting the same amount of patients.
I don't know if that's true. I would need to see
true.
the number. I would need to see. I would need to see you believe. I would need you to pull that up for me to say, oh, okay.
I have to go back to because I don't know this. I didn't read the ads. I just remember the headline news that I was watching.
Yeah.
And like per capita, we're about the same.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. And then also, one of the main problems, say that is true, right? And that opening the business was a good idea, right? Okay. I would feel fine if he had a plan that everybody followed.
Right.
Every county, every school. And then inside of that, there were concessions you could make or little like adjustments that you could make to it.
Right.
But there isn't that. He's just, when you say he opened everything, no. What he did is say, all right, do you guys do what you think is the best.
But that's the way our government is set up. That's the way it's supposed to be set up. You know that, right? It's supposed to be run like it's supposed to be
when you
run
talk about specific
locally,
things,
then counties.
but we're talking about a
then
pandemic,
states.
homie.
No, but I'm saying in the rule of power.
Yeah, but we're not
the way
talking
our
about
country was
we're
set
not
up-
talking about that now. We're talking about at this point today. We were talking about this Capitol riot thing, but all of a sudden we sort of got into like a COVID thing, probably because this has to do with government. But we're not talking about like whether I have a gun or not, or we're talking about if I should smoke weed or not.
So you think
we're talking about if there's a pandemic and we need a lot of this and a lot of help here and a lot of this, and we need to figure out how we're going to handle this and have the curve. We shouldn't have everybody deciding for themselves from a government to a county to a school level, each school doing different things. That shouldn't be a thing.
So you think that the federal government should have done that?
Yeah.
In the same way that you want DeSantis to do that in Florida?
Yeah, for this thing.
Like, take over everything. And like,
for this thing, I think there should have, when you say take over, that's probably an overstatement. There should have been a plan for everybody to follow that had to do with either are we wearing a mask, are we not wearing a mask?
I think the reason why it didn't fold out that way is because traditionally the way the government was set up is that local government runs themselves until they get to the point where they need federal help, and then they ask for federal help. And then, well, I will agree with you is that, yes, the federal government should have been there to back up more. And
there was no plan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the first time it's ever happened. So.
There was no plan put into any kind of action. Now obviously DeSantis did stuff. I'm not saying he like sat on his ass and watched. I'm just saying that the choices that were made as far as keeping everything
I think
open.
I agree with you. And I think we need to restructure that idea.
Letting each county, and specifically each county, all the schools doing per school different things.
Yeah.
It's bananas, bro. Like, to your point, it's never happened before, so why let everybody just sort of like decide what they're going to do?
Right.
Should have been like, wow, this is what we need to do. Well, even if it's wrong, dog. Right. Like I said, even if opening or closing or whatever, it should have
just been more of a joint structure.
Yeah, for sure, man. This thing never. I'm not talking about. I mean,
I guess that proves that America is like fractured like that. I mean, that.
Oh, for sure. We got called on a lot of bullshit.
To the city level.
We got called on a lot of bullshit for sure.
Town, or it's a incorporation, town, city, county, state.
Fuck all that. I'm not talking about like how government should be run necessarily at that moment. I'm just talking about. Well, I'm talking all government should. Like I said,
I'm talking about
like,
decision making, the way it's laid out.
Yeah, but not like everything. Just this thing that never happened before that we need. It's just a special circumstance, dog. It shouldn't be like, oh, big government and little government and left and right, and like you're saying, it just needs to be like, let's fix this thing that's happening.
Kind of like Korea,
but we're using it.
Korea did the best thing.
We're using it as a I think Greenland might have. We're using it as a political tool. Right. Like even the COVID relief package has like all these millions earmarked for military and fucking technology and
revamping history centers.
What the fuck is that money? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what does that have to do with anything?
What does this money need to go to a museum for?
Katrina relief pack, all these packages that happen of all these like crazy things that happen to people. There's always this side arguing. Oh well, I want no abortions. Like why? Why are we talking about abortions right now? There's so much extra shit in these packages that has nothing to do with COVID or COVID relief. Yeah. It's bananas, but that's the reason.
Bureaucracy.
That's what you're saying. That's the reason some of the people stormed the Capitol.
Yeah,
because of little shit like that, and they decided to go hurt everybody. If they wanted, some of them decided they wanted to hurt people.
I don't think that was there initially.
You're fucking wrong if you don't think there was a section of those people who wanted to kidnap people and hurt people.
Not as a masses, though.
Yes.
Not as a masses.
Well, part of the masses, for sure. A large part of the masses. And guess what else? They wouldn't have stopped shit. They wouldn't have stopped shit if it happened. The masses wouldn't have stopped shit if it happened.
I saved a couple police officers.
Huh?
They saved a couple police officers.
How you say the guy who beat his ass and died? Did he get saved?
No, not that guy. But there was
out in the open with all those people that didn't stop anybody.
There was a cop that they interviewed.
They saved one of them though.
A couple of them.
Oh, you're fucking no way, bro. No fucking way. These motherfuckers beat these guys to death. You know what I mean?
To death.
and would have did more, and are ready for more.
I don't think the majority was there for that.
No.
Yeah, I think it's always a small group of insurrections that come in and really like.
Yeah, there were 200 people inside the building, so small group is kind of an understatement too. You know what I mean?
That's all that made it in was 200 people.
It's like 200 people inside.
Really?
That's a lot of people, Peens.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I didn't know the exact number.
Yeah, it was something like 200. I don't know. I read that somewhere. That might be a made up number, but I read that somewhere. So that's a lot of people. I think I was on the news. I heard that. It's not a little amount of people. It's not a small amount of insurrection. There were nooses outside.
Well, I think the moral.
What's the moral
of this story?
What's the moral?
The moral of this story is that we need to find better ways to assimilate and become unified for the future of this country. And I don't think that we should impeach Trump again. I think just let him leave.
That's not a moral.
Yeah, that's the moral.
The last part is not a moral. That's
no, but it's part of the moral. No. It's part of assimilating. It's part of
what does assimilation have to do with anything? Compromise?
We can't continue to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Fighting is not the answer. It's not doing anything. It's just making the shit worse. We need to figure out compromise.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
We are in a tumultuous relationship right now with a crazy hooker bitch that loves to do meth, and the husband is a poet, surprise-winning poet.
I agree with you a little bit.
About
we
the
need to come together.
The meth.
Nothing about the meth or the hookers.
Hookers and meth.
I mean, it's better for everybody if some of us, the majority of us, come together and compromise on stuff. But I think it's super dangerous if he doesn't get impeached a second time, even if it is purely
I don't think it does anything.
Purely theatrical.
Yeah.
Even if it's purely theatrical. It can't be allowed, dog. A president can't incite people to do that shit. That's it. And that's all.
All right, that's a whole.
He didn't incite them?
They do. Presidents incite people all the time.
Not like that.
Well, yeah.
Not in a super negative way to storm their own fucking.
He has a shittier way of doing it.
No. No other president has incited people to do that type negative shit. Who else did?
Bush? The Bushes? Reagans?
What do you have them do?
Just say no to drugs and be completely hypocritical and be funding the fucking Contras.
So how is that inciting violence?
You're bringing crack into the country.
That's hypocritical. I'm not saying presidents haven't done bad shit from the beginning of time.
Yeah,
from the beginning of the United States.
Absolutely, lying about
I'm talking
weapons
about,
of mass destruction in Iraq.
That's also bad and hypocritical. I'm talking about a president needs to be impeached for probably a lot of reasons. But if he's standing a walking distance from a building and says, "We're gonna go to that building," we're not going to allow them to take it. You got to fight like hell.
That's not the same thing as Bush saying, "Oh, there's weapons of mass destruction. We got to go to Iraq. We got to take over the country. We got to go to war." When secretly we just want the oil. It's the same shit.
No, I mean that's bad too. Like if people,
it's not two. It's the same shit.
It's not the same shit. It's not the same shit. If
You're bringing a whole military force of Americans there to die for the wrong reason.
No, for sure.
It's the same shit.
That's horrible.
It's the same shit.
So you're saying because we didn't impeach him, we shouldn't impeach Trump for inciting violence?
We need to hold everybody accountable.
But you just said we shouldn't impeach Trump.
Poster bad boy
so
right
you're saying
now.
We shouldn't impeach Trump, though, you just said.
If we're not going to fuck with those people, then don't be hypocritical and do it over here. We need to come together as a country.
You're talking both sides of it now, though. So which is it? Either they should or they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
They should, though.
I mean, hypothetically, yes, but the way our country is, they shouldn't.
They should, though. Hypothetically, they should, but they shouldn't because they haven't.
They shouldn't because it's hypocritical.
They shouldn't impeach him because it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
Even though they should,
because
hypothetically.
It's just for face value. It's just like, oh, we did it because we know.
It's theatrical.
It's theatrical.
Yeah. I think letting him say what he said to attack our own country is dangerous. Also, that other shit is also dangerous.
It's arguably more dangerous.
It continues to be dangerous.
More dangerous because it created.
It's dangerous for the other countries. Yeah, for sure.
And our country, like what we trained Osama bin Laden, bro.
Bush said something. He made a speech. 6 months later, troops came in. Years later, they're still there. Trump said a thing. Hours later, the thing happened. That's a level of
we've
acceleration.
lost more Americans because of Bush than Trump. Because of Bush, there's more dead Americans.
Right. So
than
you
Trump.
don't count like the deaths from COVID as like.
No, that's
okay.
not. That's not like a war thing. Like nobody that
he called it a war.
Yeah, that's that's all hoopla. But like,
even though
COVID is
what
the
it
fucking
isn't.
disease.
It
you
is
know
what it
I
isn't.
mean? No, COVID
his response
is
to it though.
Yes,
that hasn't caused deaths.
That's arguable.
That's what we're doing right now.
It was gonna cause deaths anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it at both sides, but like inciting a fucking war based on there's weapons of mass destruction there, and everybody's telling you no, there's no weapons. Where the fuck is the yellow kid?
Also a
coming
Republican.
From? Yeah, true, but just as bad, I think.
It is very bad.
Just as bad.
It is very. It's one of the worst things to do. Truman did it. Kennedy did it. Lyndon Johnson did it.
That's the one I was talking about, Lyndon Johnson.
A lot of presidents
He was
did
a Democrat.
A lot of presidents did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trump should get impeached for inciting violence on the Capitol. And a line of other things that he did while he was president.
All those presidents should be impeached.
I don't know if all of them need to be necessarily, but
maybe not Obama.
I don't think the fucking A-bomb should have been dropped. It seemed like it didn't need to be dropped. A lot of generals said it didn't need to be dropped.
That guy definitely needed to be impeached.
All of America was behind him. All of America was behind Iraq war.
Well, not all of America.
No, all of America wasn't behind him dropping a bomb either.
Yeah,
there were protests on all, but like the feeling behind stuff.
I think they're all as bad as Trump.
I think that
they're just better at doing it than him.
I think
they're
that
better
a lot of
speakers.
times when people say stuff about Trump, the only thing motherfuckers can say was, what about somebody else? And saying, no, he shouldn't be because of the merits of him. It's always about what somebody else may have done or some other group may have done. No motherfucker can defend Trump on Trump's merits, ever. It's always whataboutism. Every time. Literally always, bro.
Always.
Tell me one thing that you can defend Trump is like when somebody says something bad. No, I'm saying
out of the Korea shit.
said when somebody says something bad about him,
he ended ISIS.
You can never say, nah, that's not true.
He arguably did a better job.
They absolutely didn't end ISIS either.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. There's
you
so
can
much
talk to the generals.
There's so much terrorism. ISIS is this group, is that group, is that group. It just morphs into something else. That's why the war against terror didn't work. Because it's not, you can't kill that shit.
But another president started that. He cleaned up the mess.
I mean, he didn't clean shit up. It's the same thing as it was before. It's just as bad
North,
as it was before, bro.
You gotta give Trump North Korea and
no,
ending ISIS.
You can't give him anything because it's the same shit as it was before. You can't.
If you're gonna be okay with some of the shit Bush did and some of the shit that Kennedy and Eisenhower, if you're gonna be on some of their side and say that they're not as bad as Trump, then you gotta at least be on the side that Trump did those two things right. He got us out of conflict.
Okay, what if I'm not okay with the things that they did? Then do I have to be okay with it?
You're not, but you're serving it on the plate like it's okay.
No, I'm saying the only time you can't defend Trump off his merits. You can't. You always say, "What about them?" On them.
And I'm giving you two examples.
No, you're saying good things that he did. There's a difference between saying good things that he did and defending his negative actions. You can't defend his negative actions on merit. You always just say, what about the negative things other people did?
Because I'm giving an example of why we.
If
we're gonna gloss over and
we're not glossing over. We're not letting them.
If we're gonna let them, we are letting them.
No, I just said I didn't agree with what they did.
But as a society,
yeah,
as a society,
we're not talking about what's happening right now as a society. You're saying right now Trump shouldn't get impeached.
Right.
I'm saying he should. because he did bad shit. You're saying because we didn't in the past, we shouldn't now.
Because of the precedence of president.
That's
because
bullshit.
of the precedence of president.
The precedence of president doesn't make sense to what's going on right now.
He's not as bad of a leader as some of the leaders in the past were.
So what does that have to do with him getting impeached?
If you're not going to impeach them, that's the merit.
We should have impeached them.
Everything in law.
We should have impeached them.
Everything in law is based on case study.
Yep.
Okay? There has to be a
precedence. You just said it.
Exactly. In order for that law to move ahead.
Yeah.
Since there hasn't been a precedence in the past, and you've let these arguable war criminals, arguable traitors, arguable all these other things, right? Womanizers, blah 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 blah. What I'm saying is that the shit we've seen in the Trump office, we've seen in the past before.
There's plenty of things we've seen in the Trump office. There's plenty of things we've seen in the Trump office that we haven't seen before, including inciting violence on your own country.
No, bro. There's been presidents in the past that have done that. That's what I'm saying. Who
incited violence on our own country?
We've been a racist nation forever.
Andrew
Jackson.
Who incited violence on our own
Jackson.
Yeah, he actually did. He actually did violence on our own country.
Our country's built on this.
But in that time period or whatever.
No. See, you're doing the same thing.
No. In that time period,
you're doing the same thing.
No, listen. In that time period, the people that they were massacring weren't considered our country.
You're doing the same thing.
No, I'm saying like
you're doing the same thing. That
I'm saying he wasn't attacking his own people.
Yes, he was.
In their eyes or whatever.
Thompson,
he wasn't attacking.
Thompson, you're saying the same thing.
No, what I'm saying is, in their eyes, the black people and Mexicans, and there probably weren't even Mexicans, any immigrant or any Native American, they weren't like part of the fold. So he wasn't attacking his own people. Trump was attacking even people he agreed with. He still does it. He attacks the vice president. He attacks everybody. He attacks his own people.
We've seen Trump in the White House before Trump.
Listen, I know. It's fun to argue. You know, I'm trying to like.
Basically, this country has always been a piece of shit.
Just trying to like keep the thing going, but it's hard because you try to like you get to a point where you're defending Andrew Jackson to try to like, make the point,
and that's
or whatever.
What makes our country so hypocritical. That's why, bro, we're gonna start impeaching this motherfucker for all this shit.
I still agree, though. I think he still should get impeached. Just because Andrew Jackson didn't get impeached for massacring all those people.
I agree because I don't want him to come back into office. We don't need him for another 4 years. So on that merit, yeah, impeach him. We don't need this fucking spectacle to happen again. We need to move forward. We need a goddamn, like we've been.
We just need a regular fucking, just a regular ass person that isn't. Maybe he's shit rich, so he doesn't get like affected by money.
Yeah, Andrew Yang,
he gives out $1 million, but he's trying to turn it into $1 billion. Now, give out $1 billion, but that's the only thing wrong with Andrew Yang. He sounds fake. Like you can't really, like when he talks,
really,
you can almost hear him inhale into his pitch. It's like, oh, what are you gonna do for us? And he goes, all right, New York, how you doing, everybody? I'm here, and I'm gonna be doing.
That's part of the role.
Nah, bro. Why do you think Obama got elected? You think he got elected?
He's better than Andrew Yang at doing the same thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He just sounds like a regular cat. And then policies and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's better at
and
that.
then, all the bad shit, it almost is like, well, he let some drones go and he bailed at the banks.
Just like that book he just dropped.
But, you know what? I will say that if Trump was better at, like, the delivery of a lot of stuff, we probably wouldn't be even having this conversation.
He'd be Bush.
He'd be
Bush.
Maybe. Bush was bad at some of the delivery because he was stupid.
So is Trump.
Yes, but I'm just saying, if he was like a what's his name, Mitt Romney kind of cat, you know what I mean? Where you're just like, oh well, he's not so bad, and you find out he's wearing like bulletproof underwear. It's like,
it has like 700 kids.
He got a lot of kids. Probably kind of smelly. But I guess the moral of the story is.
Trump is Andrew
You're not
Jackson.
actually in a real cult. It's not a real cult. Because in a real cult, the leader's really possibly willing to die for you. And in this cult, the leader doesn't give a fuck about you. No matter what he says, he does not give a fuck about you.
Fuck about his next move.
And in the next second, 1 second he's saying he loves you. The next second he's fuck you.
Here's one for you. Let's say all the blacks in America were behind Trump. He would be pro-black.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tide thing. So, that guy doesn't care about you. Stop supporting him. Please. That's not the moral of the story. Sorry. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Let me start over. This one's hard.
Drink beer. Get high. Fuck bitches.
This one's hard. Moral of the story is, if you feel like standing up for your rights, then attack the Capitol, attack the Gucci store, attack the streets. Don't hurt anybody if you can avoid it. Law enforcement out there, response needs to be the same.
Leave your guns at home. Bring your pillows.
Don't beat anybody's ass.
Pillow fight in the city.
Don't tear gas anybody. Honestly, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
No, I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's where I'm at.
I don't know, because I can't tell law enforcement not to do that. I can't ask you just to not whoop somebody's ass that needs to get their ass whooped, and then I can also not tell somebody who gets their ass whooped all the time not to burn down the store. And then I also can't tell the guy who thinks he's not being represented to not storm the Capitol, because I can see that too. I can see all of these things. So I guess the moral of the story is we got to come together, but fuck Trump. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog.
It's just we're like Trump fatigue. Enough is enough.
It's bad,
enough
man.
Is enough.
It's so bad.
Enough is enough.
And then, like I said, he just sure, past presidents did arguably more horrible shit, including Andrew fucking Jackson, that racist, genocidal piece of shit. But it just, man, he said to those people, we're going to walk up there and we're going to do this. And they walked up there and did that shit. And that's fucking scary, dude.
It's power.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that's not a good moral. I'm usually better at morals. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. Somehow our crowd is definitely involved in that situation.
At least the commenters.
Somehow the people who like to comment are definitely some Trump supporters. And bring all the hate, bring all the smoke. I wish no violence on anybody. I don't want any super physical stuff. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna try not to disrespect you.
It never solves anything.
Never solves anything. One of my worst fears is being out in fucking Cocoa or Melbourne, somewhere on the East Coast for some reason. In my head, me and everybody just sitting there, and somebody walks by on the beach drunk, and they go, "Hey, you're so and so from so and so." And I'm like, oh, God. He's drunk and his boy's drunk and I done said some shit. And now I'm fighting in the middle of the sand where you got bad footing. And I'm just trying to, keep these motherfuckers on me. And I got, off me. And I got, my kids everywhere. And then Shauna, she's not going to stay out of it. So she's, throwing at the girl and shit. It's like a bad.
And then you end up on the news. And then you end up as an episode.
And it's because of a goddamn podcast.
Produce Florida. Listen, it's Fresh Produce Florida Media at Gmail.
Oh, goodness.
My name is Fredo Peens. He goes by Christ Bearer.
No, not at all. This guy kissed me up. Hey, you know what your name means? No. My name is Chris Thompson.
Google what Christopher stands for. Yeah. All right, bro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We love y'all. Peace and love.
Peace.